Well, hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. We're here. And with the fabulous Tiiu Napp.
And the most incredible and amazing, Dr. Michael Gross.
That's me, and that's her. Welcome, everybody. We're a few days early, but Happy New Year.
We
Yay.
can't wait to celebrate and just welcome everyone to our Sunday Facebook Live. And we're playing with our, there we go. Happy New Year. It's almost New Year's Eve.
Absolutely.
And we aren't going to be here on New Year's Eve, so we thought we'd do this early because today is Sunday. And it's coming up really soon.
Yes, it's going to be a wonderful time. Hey. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're celebrating you, and we're celebrating the New Year.
Absolutely. And on top of that, Michael had this brilliant idea that we should do a toast, right?
Yeah.
We should do a toast, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Should we?
Go ahead.
We want to salute you and thank you.
And we're going to
for always being here and listening to our wonderful messages, okay?
All right.
Cheers, Michael.
Cheers.
To all of you.
Eggnog to you, too.
Eggnog to you, too.
Nothing like eggnog. I'm sorry we only have it once a year, but we should have it every week. Why not?
Isn't that how we get our dairy?
Yeah.
It's not how we...
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to go there.
Stop. Okay. On that note, thank you so much for popping in to listen to our message. Michael always has a powerful message, and I know that this one is going to really, really, really be powerful because this is his New Year's Eve message, and we're going to make sure that everybody launches into 2022 with a powerful mindset. And it's the year of, what is it? The year of 2022?
It was the year of the children. And I'll talk about that even more.
Okay. So on that note, I'll put my signage down and I'm going to let you all, he got the book up first. Listen to him.
Oof. All right. Here we go.
He's such a character, and that was just one sip of eggnog. Can you believe this? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go first. I'm going first this time because
beauty before age.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The Spiritual Primer is a masterpiece. It's a beautiful book written by Dr. Michael Gross, the guy over here. And the reason I wanted to highlight this is because I thought I knew all along that there was something missing in my life, and I didn't know what it was. And when I first got my hands on this, an opportunity to meet the amazing man who wrote this book, all the answers started coming through. And in the last 2 years, I have had such an amazing experience on my spiritual path, learning and growing and just becoming who I really am. I didn't know who I was, and that's who I was looking for. So this is an excellent book. If you're missing anything in your life, it's also a beautiful gift. If you missed it at Christmas time, it's a beautiful gift no matter when you give it, because every day is a gift. Every day we should celebrate. And I would be blessing anyone who I dearly love with this book. So on that note, thank you, Michael.
Thank you. And I want to talk about Tiiu's book, story of bravery, of strength, story of discovery, a story of self-empowerment, a story of love, and a story of coming out of the ashes like the phoenix and being the mythological bird and rebirth. Everyone, it's a must read. So the coming year, this is a great book. Read it. It's motivational and it will change your life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
These make an excellent gift, and they make, they go together. They really do.
Like a horse and carriage.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that song?
You could fall.
Go together like
a horse and carriage.
Da, 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 da,
da. You can't have one without the other. Okay, we honestly don't script any of this stuff. It's just what random stuff comes through. But really, truly, I highly recommend this one. And had it not been for this one and this wonderful man, that one wouldn't even be in existence today. So I'm honored that Michael has written the foreword in my book, and I've mirrored my book in some ways to go hand in hand with his. So it's definitely something that we would love to share more on with you. However, we're here for a message.
Absolutely.
And we need to put these things down.
All right.
So on that note, we are really cheesy today.
Yes, we are. Have a little more. Like, oh my God.
Goofball.
To all of you, maybe a joy and happiness when you're watching this.
Absolutely. I hope we make you laugh inside to the point where your gut hurts and you start to tear up, because we do get silly.
Yeah, we do.
We do get silly. Okay, nothing is scripted except for this part. And this part is the formal introduction that I try to always follow, but sometimes I ad-lib. And who knows, right?
Right. That works for me.
Because, I mean, we've been working together now for a little over 2 years.
Isn't that great?
I love it.
I deserve a Purple Heart.
He does. He deserves more than one. I think I should make him an award that's the, whatever, the Congressional Medal of whatever for putting up with you.
It's been a joy.
Well, we're still speaking to one another.
Yes,
That's got to be something good, right? Okay. Enough frivolity. Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, a transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he has been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and a teacher. Phenomenal teacher, trust me. I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true.
Thank you.
Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and bring forth their intuitive abilities. I didn't even know I had any of those.
You do now.
Well, he's woken me. I don't know if that's even the proper terminology, but he's definitely waking me up. He teaches. See, I've already gone off script.
That's okay.
I'm going off script again. Okay. He currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the true source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble. Hey.
Yes.
He does. I won't do what I did the other day.
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I don't want him to start blushing again. He remains humble, knowing the work he does all comes from God, the true source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has just launched his nonprofit. And I'm going to let you introduce
the
him.
International Institute of Self-Empowerment. And it has several major goals, but the first one we're concentrating on, which we're doing fundraising and grants, is working with abused women, children, and men. So powerful. And there's so much abuse going on, but we'll address it another time. However, we're working on our logo on our website, so hopefully next time we meet in a couple of weeks, we'll be able to share some of that information. But I'm very proud and honored to say the director of dealing and helping abused women and children and men is this beautiful lady right over here. Thank you for being part of it.
I'm honored to be part of it,
and
Michael.
inspiring me to do this. Thank you.
I am honored to be part of it. And oh my gosh, the things that are coming down the pipeline that we've already talked about, we can't really go into that right now, but just know that this is a powerful, powerful nonprofit that we're putting together. And I am honored to be part of it because I can see how much the world needs this right now, and how much, well, what was it? We're going to say, what was the percentage?
We wanted 1%.
Okay. Michael has a message that I hope he incorporates into this tonight or today. But we've also been researching some information regarding domestic violence and abuse. And there's 84%, if I remember the number right.
86.
Oh, 86% of the global population suffering with low self-esteem. And I know that one of the goals of the nonprofit is to help raise self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. So I just wanted to add that because I think it's important that we all know that. And with all due respect for your time, I think it's time to get into your message.
Okay. Well, just one more thing, and that my goal is to get 1% of the world's population to embrace unconditional love and to help us make a change. The other 99% will follow through. So think of 1% of 8.5 billion people. Even though 1% is small, 8.5 billion is huge in that 1%. And it's like the 100th monkey syndrome. But we'll get into that another time. Some of you may be familiar with it. If not, you can look it up. But really, I wanted to deliver a wonderful message to all of you about the new year. So I would like you to think about new year, new things, new beginnings. And it's very common for us to make, New Year's resolutions. We're going to do this and that. And after the second day or second week, we forget all about it. But this is the year where we're finishing up in 2021 is the year of the you, working on you. And I'm going to assume that most of you have, or you've been forced to. You can go kicking, screaming, or yelling and learn things, or you can be in the flow. And believe me, I've done both. It's easier to be in the flow. Much easier.
At least less bruising.
You want to see the welts on my back? No, I'm only kidding you.
At least less bruising, right?
But in the year of 2022, it's the year of the children. And it's a year all about working with the children, teaching them self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. But more importantly, teaching them the big word, R, responsibility word, that they have to take responsibility. And when they mess up, they have to own it and then heal it and release it. And it's so important that we bring about that energy with the children at all times. And I've talked about before, you cannot be a parent and a best friend. You're one or the other. And it's also important for you to be a parent, an authoritarian, someone they can look up to. And so many parents I talk to, I want my child to love me. Really? So what happens is, they love the child goes amok, and they have no respect for the parent. No, that's not 100% of the time. And you can doubt me, but watch those around you who have coddled their children and cut them a lot of slack, and watch how their life goes. It goes like this, and it starts going like this. And then when they're in trouble, they run to mom and dad. And what happens when mom and dad's no longer around? How are they going to bail out? How are they going to get out of it? So I sound like I'm on my soapbox, and I am. I'm going to address a few other things. But really, we have to teach responsibility. And responsibility for their actions. They don't do their homework, they screw up, whatever. How do we learn? We learn by, unfortunately, a lot of our mistakes. But that's how we learn. And it's always been that way. And I will tell you that when I deal with a lot of adults, a lot of parents, those who taught their children to be strong, they're very strong and independent. Independent means they don't not love their parents, but they're able to survive on their own. Necessity is the mother of invention, and they figure it out. On the other hand, those who have held the hand of the children, made excuses, are physically, emotionally, and financially drained by their children. And it's a very high percentage, up in the way 90s. In the times when, some of you may know I'm a non-denominational minister. I've done a ton of weddings. Some say 1,000. I don't know. Somebody took some kind of measurement to see how thick my file was. But I cannot tell you how many people I married.
I've seen your file.
Okay.
It's huge.
And
Huge.
I can't tell you how many weddings I did that the groom's father or the bride's father said, I got in trouble. And I was given a choice, either join the military, Army, or Marines, or go to jail. So I went into the military. And they made a man of me and made me responsible. So my daughter this day could get married and have joy, and I have the prosperity and abundance to put on a wonderful wedding. So important for you to realize that. This is a strong message. And the message is twofold. One, make them take responsibility. And the other one is critical thinking. So really, what does that mean? Teach them how to think pros and cons of everything. Very, very important. And critical thinking means they can make decisions and make them with confidence. That's very important. So, when I was growing up, we're a middle-income family, and, we had chores to do. And we got, little allowance for doing the chores. No chores, no done, no money. And then I got a paper out, and I got a lot of money. At that time, when you're 11, 12 years old, it was about $25, $30 a week. Of course, I had to walk 2 miles, deliver over 140 newspapers, but I loved the money at the end of the week and then at the end of the month. So it's so important for us to realize. And from that, I learned a lesson. And the lesson is that I want something, go out and get it, earn it, figure out a way. Now, the old cliche, necessity is the mother of invention. And it's true. What we have to learn is the children need to understand that they can create their own future. They can come to you for advice. But when they come to you for advice, listen first. Don't tell them what to do. Then ask them what they are going to do. How do they feel about it? It starts critical thinking. And then you ask them, you think this is the right thing? How's it going to benefit you or not benefit you? You train them to think and think. And then many years later, when you're not around or maybe they will move somewhere else, they're going to apply the same thing, that critical thinking. And on the other hand, too, we have to have them realize that they are in control of their life and there are no victims. Oh my gosh. In the counseling I do, there are people that are 70, 80 years old. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. How long have you been? For 50 years, I'm a victim. Hello. There are no victims. The reason I say that, we allow ourselves to become a victim. Now, I will grant you some things come in our life that, are arduous and hard to learn. But the critical thinking and taking responsibility said, I put myself in this position, and whatever I put myself in, I can reverse engineer. The way I put myself in, I pull myself out. It's pretty simple. And sometimes all of you have gone through that. And maybe you screamed and yelled and you said some nasty things to yourself and the people around you. That's okay. But it's time for a change. And how do you change? You have to change first. It's your legacy. You want your legacy to say, I love my children. I took care of them. Of course, they're doing drugs. They're not able to make a living on their own, but I love them. Or you're going to say, as I taught them how to create their abundance, their love, their joy, their happiness, and their prosperity. And I've done my job well so that they too can pass it on to their children, their children's children, and so on. In other words, you're creating a legacy. This new year is all about creating a legacy for the children. It's all about opening the doors and showing them, telling them how to go about it. When I say telling them, is when you ask them questions, they answer their own questions. So many people at work, well, should I do this? Should I do that? And I ask questions and they discover their own answer. That's very powerful because you know what the answer is when they're asking questions of the counselor as a parent, but you want them to discover it. And once they discover it, what happens? They get confidence. They feel better. They feel more worthy. They can go out in the world and know there's a solution to everything. Once we get out of our own way and stop this negative thinking, the solution always comes, whether it comes in a dream or thoughts or somebody else mentioning something, it always comes. So we talk about children that are growing up with a silver spoon in their mouth, or a golden spoon, and we look at all them, and if you look at it, their life is chaos. It's so sad. It's sad because we as a parent had a direct influence on them. Even if you're a single mom or dad, you still have that authority. And by that authority is to teach them the right from wrong and take responsibility. I know I've harped on that quite a bit just now, but I can't get the message strongly to each one of you. This is the year of the children. So it's to protect the children, but also have them discover that they can find answers. And it's not so much going to Google. Everybody goes to Google. In my day, back in the days of Abraham Lincoln when I was growing up, we would go to somebody or we'd have a dictionary or Encyclopedia Britannica.
We had the guy that sold the encyclopedia come to the house.
Yep.
And he had, I think it was 24 hardcover books that was the encyclopedia. And that if we had a question and mom and dad didn't have the answer, they would say, go to the encyclopedia. Everything you need to know is in there. And that was a beautiful tool. I was born apparently around Abraham Lincoln's time too. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I mean,
right.
Never mind. But the bottom line is that, can I just throw this in there?
Please.
Okay. The one thing that I see, I grew up back in the 50s and 60s. And we didn't have the internet. We didn't have Google. We didn't have a lot of this stuff. And we were taught, our parents taught us. We learned by watching our parents And some, so I mean, we are a direct reflection of our parents. And one of the things that bothers me more than anything right now is that parents are so gosh darn busy that the kid says something, one of the children says something, oh, here, and they give the kid a device. Okay. I have seen 2-year-olds and toddlers with, a device in their hands. Instead of taking the time to sit down and explain it to your child, they're putting in, all this technology,
Right.
and they're losing that time, that quality time to interact with mom and dad. And that's important. We need to have that interaction. A lot of the stories that we heard growing up, especially for me, came from my mom and dad sharing their stories and what they learned from their parents. And I think that that's becoming a lost art.
Exactly. And one could say, when you Google an answer, it's like going to the Encyclopedia Britannica. In some instances, it is. But a lot of answers are someone else's thought and opinions. And it does not encourage critical thinking. And that's so important. And if you don't think that's true, go to the grocery store or supermarket, wherever you want to go, and give something that's 98 cents and give them $1.03. And they'll look at you and give you your 3 cents back, open up the cash register, and give you another 2 cents. They don't realize you want a nickel back. Critical thinking. And how often when we went to the store, they would count the change back to you to make sure you had the right change. And I know I was talking to a family, and the granddaughter was showing a paper. She got 98% in math. And I looked at it and said, the answers are wrong. Oh, well, we get credit for just doing the work, even though the answers are wrong.
What?
And I said to the mother, which she hushed me up, oh, how would you like it if you went to a grocery store or a store and you gave $10, you bought something for $10.50, and you gave a $20 bill and they gave you back $15. Is that right? If you were a store owner, would that work right? And that's what they're teaching. So the whole big thing I'm trying to help you all understand is that we need to change with our children. We need to change and make them make responsibility. We need to help them discover whatever they need to discover. We need to help them understand the direction they're going into. And we need to understand that they do the research. And once they have a problem with the research, then what can happen is that then they can go to you, or you can help them open up a door. And that's so important. And with education today, a lot of children don't want to go to college or whatever they're doing because I can Google everything and get the answers. Well, there goes the creativeness, the ability for inventiveness, and the ability to make change. So in this coming year, each one of you need to understand the role you're playing as a mother, father, sister, or brother, and when you're working with other children, that we are the directors of their life, meaning we're helping create their life. We're opening the door so that they can make critical decisions. They can do what's right. And unfortunately, in our educational system, they're no longer teaching it. And one of the things that really disturbed me, there are some schools, not all, who are not teaching American history, or they're not teaching the Constitution because they say it's outmoded. Whoa, isn't that ridiculous? The laws and the Constitution is what makes this country great. And there's a lot of people don't appreciate it. But as I mentioned before, I've been into third world countries where I got off the plane, I had to have bodyguards. There were AK-47s. I was told not to say a word or something. This is very, very important for us to realize. Yes, this country for America is not perfect, but it sure is great, and it sure is wonderful. And how do you make change? You improve, improve. But there are certain basics never change. And if you look at the Constitution, the basics of it never change. It's like playing a sport. The basic of the sports never change. Yes, you can enhance, you can change certain things. The basics are always there. And you can't do mathematics unless you learn the basics of mathematics. You have to learn adding, subtraction, multiplication, division. You have to do all that to have everything really in harmony and balance with your life. As you're dealing with children, and no matter what their age are, you have to show them the direction, not tell them what to do, but show them the direction where they can find answers. Many times, as I said, you keep a person talking, they'll find an answer. Or perhaps you ask them to meditate on it. Ask them to research different projects, meaning, what is the best way to do something? In this coming year, just think about how you got through life. Was everything handed to you? Or did you have to go out and research it, find it, and so on? I know when I got a job, boy, my own money, yes, I can do whatever I want. I bought my first car. My father said, "You get all A's, I'll buy you a car." I did. Okay, go out and earn the money. So instead of crying and saying you took advantage of me, I said, "I'll show you." And I worked 2 jobs, saved enough money to buy a car. And since that time, I've never stopped. I realized there's only 2 I can depend upon, and that is the true source and myself, in that order.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. 2 people, or 2 that we can always count on, is ourselves and true source. And when we realize that it's our choice, and we teach our children that they always have choices, even not making a choice is a choice. When they realize that, that's part of the critical thinking.
Yes.
So when they're tiny and you want them, like say it's raining outside, I'll just use this as an example. Say it's raining outside and you want your child to go to school with a coat on because it's cold. But your child says, no, 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 no. Right? Okay. If you turn around and say, all right, sweetheart, would you like to wear the green jacket or the red one? They have a choice. They make a decision. They feel good that they made a choice. And you're happy that they're wearing something warm. It's really simple when we change how we talk to our own children. Instead of trying to be the one that's always demanding, give them that option. You're guiding them into a way that's nurturing their critical thinking, and they still feel like, they feel like they're in control. They're confident because they're wearing the jacket they chose today. When you start when they're little, that's a lifetime skill that you're introducing into their life at a young age. It's going to be a no-brainer. They will always think that way.
Words of wisdom. Thank you. How are we doing on time?
Well, we need to wrap it up, Michael.
All right, then we shall wrap it up. Everyone, thank you so much for following us. Thank you so much for viewing us. And just know with the coming new year, we're going to be on every Sunday. And we'll be here for you, and we'll cover many interesting subjects. And I want to share one other thing, and that is every Tuesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have what I call as the call-in. It's called Michael's Angels, and you ask questions about spirituality, and then I add a 10-minute message, maybe 12, but something around there. And I invite all of you to call in, because when you're there, we're forming a community that is discovering spirituality, a community that is discovering love, and we develop a family and a following, and that will always be there to support you. In order to do this, you got to call in, and the telephone number is.
And back to my little script. The Tuesday night call-in is at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the number you call in on is 202-926-1059, and the access code
125-446#.
One more time, that number is 202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446#. We got it. And then on second Saturday of every month, we have what is called Mass Consciousness Healing. That's so important because we know the souls and the planet needs healing. And the number is the same that we just delivered to you, and just need to give it once.
I'll
Same
give it
number.
one more time, but I'll also put everything in the comments below. The same number is 202-926-1059, and the access code is
125-446#. And then we have what I call a replay, and you can listen to over 205 messages. You're stuck in traffic, and here's that number.
Alrighty, that one is 434-300-4170, and the access code
is 125-446#.
Are you going to rattle your head yet?
Yeah.
Okay, one more time. That number is 434 300 4170. Access
And
code.
the access code is 125-446.
I knew he was going to do that. I couldn't help myself.
That's all right.
So one more time, all those numbers will be in the comments below, and I will also add Michael's contact information where you can email him and feel free to call him. He puts his private cell phone number in there as well. So feel free to call him. And, you know, he does eventually look at his texts. So he's a busy guy, but he's always here for us. We just have to be a little patient sometimes. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments.
Absolutely.
Because we can bring them up as a topic on another Sunday afternoon, right?
Absolutely. They're great. We can address some of your concerns. And just remember, we think well of you. We love you. We want you to be successful. No, we don't want. We desire you to be successful.
We
And
desire you
remember
to
our
be
books?
successful.
Healing the Holes in Your Soul. And
The Spiritual Primer, best read ever. It's really easy to read, and I know I highly recommend chapter 3. I've read that one so many times and don't know why, but I keep reading that one.
all right.
Okay. And on that note, are you ready, Michael?
Yes.
Okay. Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New
Oh,
Year.
no, he's got the toddy. Hold on.
Here's to a long, prosperous, abundant, healthy, and joyous year and all your future years. Remember, you are unlimited. Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year, everyone. Uh-oh, we've got to do this. Oh.
Love it.
It's time to celebrate. Be safe. Always know we love you. And we look forward to having you come back on the next Sunday at 2 o'clock, right?
Right. Namaste,
Namaste.
everyone. Take care. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.